Well, hey everybody, my name is Matthew, and welcome to kind of the start of maybe, hopefully, a cool thing. I'm on Mosquito Pass today, which is a super high elevation pass in Colorado. Yeah, so this is leading from Alma, which is just up the road from Fairplay, and it goes over Mosquito Pass, which is that direction, to Leadville, which is a really high elevation and very super cool town. Leadville, you may be familiar, a lot of high altitude sports for running and biking. So this is going to be really cool. This is a 4-wheel drive, 4 low capable only trail. This particular part is relatively smooth, just a little bumpier than it looks, but pretty soon it turns into just basically a rock road, almost like what used to be looks like a creek, just rock. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a try. This is going to be the rig for the day. I rented this from an off-road outfitter in Denver, and I'll get into more about them and what's on the truck as we make our way. But let me take a quick minute before I shut this off and get going down the road and just say this, the purpose here, the intent, for me and maybe anybody else who has, the interest in the same thing. The purpose and intent here is to get up and get moving and get going and doing things. So much more to, be a part of and enjoy, but you got to make that first effort to get up and get moving and go do some interesting things. I think I may do a couple more videos. I don't know where it'll all lead. I just want to start something and have a blast doing it. They don't recommend doing Mosquito Pass like your first time without a guide. I'm not following that rule. They don't recommend doing it alone. I'm not following that rule. So if I'm honest, I'm a little anxious right now. I literally just passed the 4-wheel drive only sign, and I've got, I think, about 4 hours to go, but I've got a lot of gas. I've got air. I need to air the tires down. I've got compressed air for when I complete it to air them back up. Yeah, I've got heat. I've got water. I've got some snacks. I've got, all the stuff you'd think through ahead of time that you should probably have on hand, including my hotel for the night up on top when we get to Leadville. Hopefully, we'll find out how to do that then, because that's another thing I've never done. But this should be good. Let's get rolling. Up and over we go. Whew. Well, got out to just stretch my legs for a sec and figure out what I'm gonna do with that. And I came back here, switched the gimbal, and can you see? That is like an oil line that goes all the way down from where I just came from. And I'm thinking, oh no, we got our first issue. Like, that's bad. But here's the good news. It's from ahead of me. It's from somebody that already went by. So my rig is doing wonderfully. But would you look at this? Like, I'm 15 feet from it, and it is waist high from where I'm standing. Got to the first one of these old abandoned mines, and man, they are just something else to take a look at and just wonder about what kind of history is going on with this dude. case you're wondering about those black panels on the hood, the outfitter that rented me this rig put solar panels on the front, and so those are part of what, not the only thing, but part of what charges up the auxiliary battery. The auxiliary battery, you know, is used for pumping up the tires with compressed air after it's time to jump out of 4-low and be on regular paved roads. Okay, had to get out and just take a quick look here. I don't know if I'm stepping outside of my door, and that goes down, like down, down, down. I don't even think I'm at the nastiest place of it just yet. Really, what I came around here to find out was how do we look here? I think I'm good to miss that. I don't want to hit that, but I don't want to go any further that way. I mean, I've owned a number of Land Cruisers, but they were all older. Never anything this new. And they were beasts, but this thing is on another level. So, yeah, given the theme of this eventual channel, again, that doesn't exist yet. I have, that's right, 0 subscribers. I don't have a channel yet. This is the first one. This is the first day. The first of everything. A lot of firsts. But the theme, I guess it goes right with the theme, and that is, as mentioned earlier, just get up, get moving, go do things, move your body, go accomplish some small thing. You know, from a physical health perspective, obviously a lot of benefits, but man, I'm no doctor, but just a mental well-being, this has got to be where you are cooking with gas. I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of show the landscape, because this is Mosquito Pass, right? This took about an hour and a half of going, you know, anywhere from 2 to, I don't know, 3 miles per hour. I don't think the truck, here it is. Let's look at this guy. I don't think the truck moved into second gear more than like 2 times. So pretty cool view from all the way up here. And then you know you're in the right spot when you come across a landmark that to this point I've really only seen on the internets. Check it out, man. 185 feet. That's probably why I'm breathing a little heavy. That and still the anxiousness, you know, just making sure everything goes well. Check out the rig. That kind of thing's popped open. I need to get to a jug of water. So the swing out's on the back bumper. Blue potable water in addition to the one that's on the table. And that big thing up top that says, well, I can't read it, but that's an awning. So I'm going to flip that around a little bit later and have a look at that. So, and this great. No rain, no super cold temperatures. It's like 45. It's September 29 today. I'm from Dallas. It's at 90 there, so this is just a welcome change. Hey again. So, update from this end. Sort of the two objectives on the day. The first was to you know successfully make it over Mosquito Pass, which has been something that I have been looking into, sort of researching, but just curious about doing for the better part of 10 years. And so I knew that it would take some planning and some effort to do it right and not die. And luckily, everything worked out just perfectly well today. Total, 5 stars on completing objective number 1 on the day. Objective number 2 is figuring out where I'm going to rack tonight, because, that wouldn't be really consistent with the theme to get up, get moving, and go do things if I just, take this amazing, cool rig and put it in the parking lot of a hotel. So, anyway, did some searching, found a number of campsites, some closed, some open, some a little too woodsy, some a little, anyway, not not quite right in one reason or another, but this one seems to be okay. I don't know if it'll be exactly what I would choose next time, but a lot of them were closed, citing not in season. But again, it's late September, so I don't know too much about why that is. So anyway, so I found a good spot, and I kind of got everything set up to an extent. So I thought I'll change the camera around and give you a quick look. This is the parking lot of a campground where there would be, I think, a lot of people, but there are not now. You can see the lake over there. I'm in the Twin Lakes area of Colorado, just in between Leadville and BV. But check this thing out. And I can't see that too well, but it's a cool tent with a sleeping bag and a pillow and some vents or windows if you want them. And another shout out, and I'll get to a full review of these guys that rented me this rig. Lots of cool things to like about how well it's going, but specifically in this case, I want to point out that the pillowcase and the sheets, the bedding, and the sleeping bag are all freshly cleaned, and they do that after every rental. So in good shape in that regard. That's where we're going to park it tonight. And then tomorrow we get rolling on day 2.